Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at my personal top SR heroes in the game. There's two real standouts for me, and then some other situational type SR heroes that are also going to be really good. So let's get into it. Just another thing to keep in mind as I go through these partners is that when you do lens up your partners, you will get the opportunity to pick up some fragments for some SRs along the way. So you might want to consider this as we go along on which ones you want to pick up, just to try and, get ones that are going to be more useful. But like I said, there's two that really stand out to me, and that is Pan and Reiko. Pan for the single target, Reiko for the AoE. We'll check out Pan first. Now let's go over here to details for an easier view of it. Her passive Thief, basically for every blank position on the board, she's going to gain 4.5% attack, and she just gets a flat 15% crit increase. So really nice for damage, especially early on in a battle. If you drop her straight up on the enemy leader, she's going to do some massive damage with all those blank tiles. Next up, we do have the unique skill, the ultimate. Basically, she's going to attack a single enemy and deal damage. Basically standard 480 multiplier. Mine has been lensed up one, so she is at 480. The base is, I'm pretty sure, 380, but also reduces the enemy's recovery rate by 80% for 3 rounds. Now 3 rounds is a fairly long time, and it's really nice recovery. So there is a team composition which I will make videos on in the future, where it's basically a pan rush team where you just rush the enemy leader and try and kill them, and the HP recovery rate down is huge for that, because it means they can't just drop a healer and get healed. You can really just put that pressure all on the enemy leader. Besides that, we do have the lens up of, if we go here, you can see that grade 5 lens up being her special, which normally has a 15% chance, it goes up to the 30% chance to activate when she would use her basic attack to use this, and it's going to restore 120 rage, which is going to get her around to using that ultimate more often and keep the up, not only deal more damage, but also keep up that uptime on the heal recovery block. So really solid unit. So now Reiko, the other one, she's the AoE unit. She's got a really nice supportive passive. When Reiko appears, all allied debuffs are dispelled. Every debuff dispelled increases her max HP by 16.5%. Really nice. Now if you're looking at mine being white, this is a skin. She's normally got a black skin, so she's normally got the black clothes, and I'm pretty sure the wings are black as well, if you're getting confused. But really nice, the dispel. So there's a hero in this game, if I can find her, it's the SSR that I don't have yet. Where is she? This one, Fenebeth. Now when she actually spawns, let's look at her passive. When she appears, she places a curse on all enemy units, lasts 2 rounds. Every round, the target takes damage equal to 60% of the caster's attack, and all heals they receive are converted to damage. This is just one case of it. You've got heal reductions, attack reductions, defense breaks, anything like that it can cleanse. But this is where I really love it, because when Fenebeth comes out and you heal, you're basically just killing yourself. So having Reiko to cleanse that is absolutely fantastic. And anything else, if there's an enemy Phoebe who's put defense break on your whole team, you get those cleanses, but you also get some nice tanky HP from doing those cleanses. So that passive, really amazing. Combine that with that support, along with the support of this ability, the ultimate. Reiko calls down a black star, attacks all enemies, dealing not huge damage but decent damage, and places one of the following debuffs on the enemy: stun, silence, reduce attack, or reduce defense. So there's a bit of RNG involved, but especially in campaign where you can play around with the RNG, you can lose a stage, it only costs you 1 stamina. It's really nice. Now at base, obviously special and normal are going to be nothing. As we lens up, we're going to get increased damage rate by 16.5% as well, which is really nice. But then at the 5 lens, we're getting that special attack having a 30% chance. Once again, they all pretty much go up to that 30% chance to activate, but it's going to silence the target for 2 rounds, which is also really handy. So just a lot of good support, plus a nice little board wipe in the AoE with the ultimate. So you got the cleanse, you got the chance to increase her HP to make her a little bit tanky to hang around for longer. Then you've got all the random debuffs you can apply, and then you've also got a silence off the special. Really solid. So like I said, Reiko and Pan are the two complete standout SRs for me. Now we're going to jump into some niche units that have some good use. The first one is going to be Anne. Now you do get her free to play, and she's a really nice summoner unit for an SR. So basically, when she uses her ultimate, she's going to summon the Mermaid Princess and the Ice Queen to the battlefield. They're unable to attack, inherit 100% of her defense and 50% of her HP. So the tankier you make her, the tankier her little puppets are. So basically, when we look at her when we look at her passive, when the Snow Queen is present, damage rate of all allies increased by 16.5%. When the Mermaid Princess is present, damage resistance rate of all allies increased by 16.5%. She then does, you know what, let's go to details and let's click here because it's just easier to see. Activation requirement for the lineup skill, no more than 2 partners of any one each energy type in the team. Activation reward, Mermaid Princess and Snow Queen increase max HP by 60%. So it makes her little puppets tanky if you can meet the requirements. But the main thing we're looking at is when those puppets are on the field, your whole team gets damage and mitigation, which is really, really solid. So not too bad. She does do some damage with this ability as well. So it's damage, you summon them. It's not only about the mitigation either. If you can always put her, I normally put her on the next to my leader, and she's going to spawn these both in front of him. So if you're fighting enemies with single target or row damage, not column damage, they're not great against column damage, but with row damage or single target damage, they're basically just taking the hits for the leader and mitigating a fair bit, which is nice. But then we look at her special with the lens up, and as you can see, we get the damage rate up on the other one at grade 4, but on the grade 5, we do get a restore of 100 rage on the special, which is always nice to get extra rage as you're going from using this special ability. So once again, not the best hero, but really solid if you're not a whale and you don't have a great spawner and you don't have the best tanks. It can really help as like an assist tank by putting those puppets in front of the leader and actually mitigating some damage from him, but also increasing your damage as you go. Next up, we're going to be looking at Chio. Now, she is one that you're probably not going to be using in your leveling. She sort of comes in more late game in a sorcerer-based team with the sorcerer-based leader. So she's going to be niche, but one just to keep an eye out on. So when she appears, the damage rate of the allied leader and all partners sorcerer class in hand increased by 12%. So basically, she's just increasing the damage of those sorcerers in your hand, which is handy and why she's used in the sorcerer team, but also increasing the damage of the leader. Then we've got her ultimate. She assault resembles a wildfire, attacks an enemy row and deals 330% damage, increasing crit rate by 35%. So the increased crit is actually really nice on this, getting that guaranteed extra damage. And as we lens her up, we're going to see here that the special gets increased damage rate of all sorcerer allies and partners by 10%. So you're getting that extra damage, which is really, really solid to throw into her, just in a nice kit for sorcerers. Like I said, you're not going to really use her in a general team because if you're not using sorcerers, you're not getting the benefit out of her, but just something to keep in mind. She's one that I've sort of been picking up from those lens upgrades as she comes along in the chests, just because she's basically decent and something to consider building later on. Now for healers, there are 2 SR healers. There is Jasmine and there is also Diamond. Now Jasmine is just a decent all-round healing based healer, if that makes sense, to use free to play if you don't have something like Anna. Now if we jump into her skills, she is a single target healer. We'll go over here so it's easier to see. The passive, when Jasmine is present, attack of ally units in the same rank is increased by 11%. Not too bad. Activation requirement for the lineup skill. No more than 2 partners of any one energy type in the team. Activation reward after every action, Jasmine restores 20% HP to the ally partner with the lowest HP. So not too bad doing that after every action. And you combine that with her lens up from tier 5, so when she uses her special, she's going to restore HP to the ally with the lowest HP as well. So if you can double dip on that, it's going to be nice. But then we go ahead and look at her unique skill. Basically, she's going to attack the enemy with the lowest HP, which is really nice from a healer, and also restore HP to the ally with the lowest HP. So The nice thing about this is she's a healer, so she's not really damage based. She's not aiming to do heaps of damage. So her attacking the enemy with the lowest HP means that she might finish off an enemy so that you don't have to waste an ability with one of your other heroes to get them done. So it's not too bad. Basically, she's a single target healer, and that's pretty much the gist to her, and you do get her free to play. So not too bad to use as you go. Now, she's probably the more general, like, free to play hero, healer to use, but I, in theory, do like Diamond. It's going to take a lot more testing, so take Diamond with a grain of salt, because not as many people like her from what I've found online, but I'm looking forward to playing with her, so I'm just going to touch on her briefly. So basically, when she appears, the ally partner with the lowest HP is returned to the hand and receives 80% attack and 55% of max HP. So I feel like there could be some synergies to play in an offensive team, bouncing someone back, reusing them. And then we have this one here, which is going to be her heal, which is her ultimate, restores HP to 2 allies, then restores HP equal to 50% of attack every round for 2 rounds. So gets a bit of a heal over time on them, but also increases their attack and defense by 20% for 2 rounds. So a bit of a buff with a heal, with a regen. Not too bad. She is a bit expensive at a 16 energy cost is the only downfall. And like I said, I feel like there will be some synergies that come out with her. And I feel like with an ability like this, as the game goes on and more partners get introduced into the game, she could start stepping up. But overall online, the vibe I get from people is that they don't like her as much. I haven't had enough testing, but I just thought we'd touch on her anyway. And finally, we have Gigi, another single target damage dealer. Every time she takes an action, attack is increased by 16.5%. Really nice, stacking up to 5 times. So you want her to be around long enough, have some mitigation to keep her alive. Activation requirement for the lineup skill. Average lineup energy is less than or equal to 14. Activation effect. Damage rate of partners with less than 14 energy increased by 15%. This can be really, really nice. And you can always check your team formation to find out your average energy, but a really nice boost there that isn't too hard to meet. This one here, a last minute strike. Gigi attacks a single enemy and deals 380% damage, also stuns them for 1 round. Really nice getting a guaranteed stun for 1 round, especially if you're looking at something like a boss rush team where you can get that stun on the boss as it gets to max rage so that you can go ahead and execute with someone else. Not too bad. And then as we look at the lens upgrade, you can see here increases defense penetration by 40% when attacking when she uses that special, which is really nice, getting some decent damage out of that special. So that is the last one I wanted to look at. Like I said, as the game evolves, we may find more places to use the other SR heroes as well. Those are just some that I wanted to make note of, but definitely, I think it's hard to stray away from the fact that Reiko and Pan definitely take the top 2 spots. They're just really, really solid. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.